everybody, it's Katie. I just wanted to do just a quick little garden tour. I'm so excited about this garden. It's my first garden ever. I've tried to grow a few things here and there before, and I have killed literally everything I have ever attempted to grow. I've killed basil. And everybody tells me that basil's pretty easy to grow, and I have killed it. And tomatoes can be tricky, but my dad has given me perfectly healthy tomato plants, and I've killed those too. So I'm so excited because literally everything I've planted this year has lived. I feel like I should knock on wood, but I don't, and now I'm addicted. So I'm already buying up seeds for next year and plotting where I'm gonna put I ordered 2 beds the other day. I'm trying to figure out where I'm gonna put them. It's crazy addicting. So I'm so excited to continue to grow things. And I was telling my friend today, she texted asking how I was, and it is amazing how good gardening is for my soul and my anxiety. And I was telling her that I'm able to enjoy the seasons now, and I feel more like just connected. I've never really liked spring, and I usually hate summer. I'm a fall girl. I tolerate winter. I would really just live in perpetual fall if possible. But you know what? It's been so exciting just figuring out what I could plant, what I'm going to plant next, and clearing the bed for the next season, and seeing things pop up and get bigger. And oh my gosh, and I'm just loving it. I'm loving all the seasons. I'm excited for a fall garden. So I just wanted to do a quick tour. Okay, so here's my garden. It's looking very lush and green right now. I have 2 pumpkin plants. I containerized them this year because we were having some landscaping done right after I needed to plant them, and I knew I needed to be able to move them. So that kind of helped in the early stages of the pumpkin while they were still able to be moved. And I'll be honest, this is my first garden, so I have not a whole lot of ideas as to what I'm doing right or wrong. I've done a lot of research, so I have some ideas, but I didn't know how big pumpkins got. So this is just 2 pumpkins, and it's taken over basically the whole garden. So I didn't know I was going to lose so much space because of and it makes sense. Sorry, they're doing some tree work next door, so you may hear a chainsaw, but I love them. They've made me so excited. I have loved coming out and seeing how big it's gotten and checking on the pumpkins. But I think I may have to find a different spot for them next year. I have loved them so much that I want to grow pumpkins every year, but I don't know if I want to sacrifice this much garden space for 2 pumpkin plants. And these are Seminole pumpkins. So I actually got them as small plants in a little styrofoam cup from a lady who is a really fantastic gardener down the street. She just had them at the end of her driveway, and they looked great, and I thought it would be fun. I have the girls' names on them. I thought it would be fun if they each had one and see how it went. And it is going very well, apparently. And these pumpkins, I've done some research on them. They're super cool. Like, these are supposed to be some really good pumpkins for eating. A lot of people roast them with like brown sugar and butter and cinnamon, and other people use them for pie. Apparently they're kind of sweet and maybe even a little fruity, so I'm excited to see what they taste like. And they're called Seminole pumpkins because the Seminole Indians used to plant these, and they're very small pumpkins. And the cool thing about them is that if you cut the stem off correctly, by correctly, all it really is leaving as much stem as you can on there and let them dry out before you pack them away. Apparently you can store them in a nice dark cool place for a year and they're still good and they don't rot. So And that was great for the Native Americans over the winter, so they would have some good winter food. So here's a peek. I know there's one down here. Ah, it's over here. So this one is my biggest one as far as I know, and it's getting pretty big. It doubled in size one day and I was shocked, and then it doubled in size the next day, and then it doubled in size the next day. We've been getting a lot of rain, so that's probably why. And these leaves are huge. Look at this. This is insane, and they're just this nice fuzzy material. And from what else I've learned about them, they're very close to a pumpkin called the Cherokee Tan pumpkin. They look similar, they taste similar, they store similar, and apparently the Cherokee Indians used to plant those for the same reason, so they'd have some food to store over the winter. And I even learned from this vlog, I think it was Deep South Homestead. Oh, they were so great. They plant these and had a lot of information, and they said that they had learned if the Cherokee Indians didn't share those pumpkins with the Pilgrims wouldn't have had a lot to eat over the winter. So they were very nice and shared those. And then they made, in one of their videos, they made a they cut off some of their Cherokee Tan pumpkins and used them for their Thanksgiving feast as a tribute to that. And I thought that was so sweet. So definitely check those guys out. It's very interesting. And I'll link in the comments. My basil's kind of wrapping up. It's done so good. That was cilantro. And next year I think I would use this whole bed and do basil in the whole bed. But I make a lot of pesto. I love pesto, and that's basically all we use it for. But I definitely would do this same thing again next year. And this is one of those. It was like $20 or $30, and it's like a self-watering. It's called City Pickers or City Planners bed or something like that. And you just fill it up with a gallon or two of water, and when you see the water come out the side, then you know it's full. And I didn't know if that would be great for basil, because I've read that basil doesn't like to sit in water, but I tell you what, I've never had such good luck with basil. So I definitely think they do fantastic in this bed. Oh, and if anybody's wondering, I'm in Georgia. We're zone 7. So my dad gave me this old mop bucket, and I planted some cilantro in it, and it's doing pretty good. From what I've read, cilantro can be a little fussy, so I'm not really sure how this will do over the fall. It may die out on me, but I'm trying. These were just grocery store basil I tried to save, and they're not looking so hot now. I think they're past their prime. Here I planted Danvers half-long carrots, and this is my first time ever growing carrots. I think I kind of crowded them. I definitely crowded these. These are tender sweet carrots. So, and I don't even know when to pull these up. So I'm gonna have to do some research, and I'm an overthinker, over-researcher, so I have to just do a whole bunch about everything. But I've done so much research that I finally turned my black thumb into a green thumb, and things are starting to go okay. My dad gave me this tomato plant. I had 2 others over the summer, and they ran their course. I don't know what kind of tomato plant this is. I'm not sure if he left the tag in there, but it's still got some. I'm having a hard time getting them to ripen now. Once in a while I'll find a red one. I may, if it starts to get cold, just have to cut them off and bring them in and let them ripen inside. And then my dad also gave me these cherry tomato plants for my birthday, and I do still get ripe ones occasionally. I got one today, but it's few and far between. But there are lots of little ones on there, and I don't know if I'm jinxing myself, but I haven't seen any tomato hornworm on these within the last couple weeks. So I'm hoping maybe the weather dropped a bit and it's just past hornworm season. So that'd be nice if I could just harvest a few more tomatoes. I would love maybe one day having a greenhouse and trying to grow some tomatoes and basil in there all year round, but we're not there yet. These are my strawberries. They're looking a little peaky. They're kind of brown in there, and yellow, overwatered maybe a little. We've gotten so much rain, and I planted too many in this bed and they're spilling over, and I've got them in other pots here so that they don't root in the ground. I've got to do something with them, either clip them off or see if any have formed roots and maybe put them in their own pot. This bed is still empty for now. I have placed an online order for some onions and garlic, and the place that I'm ordering from is very slow, and they keep pushing it back and pushing it back. And I thought about canceling the order, but a lot of the other places I looked just don't have any, so I'm just gonna take my chances and see what I get. And I've left it open for now, but my girls really like this. They get shovels out every day and buckets and dig in it, and they really like that. So I'm a little afraid to put stuff in it anyway, because I'm afraid that they're gonna dig in my beds. My kale is looking pretty good. This is just a mixture. There's no one particular kind. I just used a kale mix, and it's looking great. And then this, let me go around to the other side. This is my lettuce bed. And I've got one really big one here I'm so excited about. And I did overplant these too. I watched another vlogger, M.I. Gardener. He's great too. And he said that he overplants his and he doesn't thin them. He just lets nature take its course and kind of let nature thin it themselves, survival of the fittest kind of thing. And his lettuce bed looked so beautiful, and I just thought I would try it that way for the first go round and see how it does. If not, I'll just have to try to be thinner with it next time. But I've got a roast salad bowl, butter crunch, Paris Island romaine, and Little Gem, and they're all doing pretty good. The salad bowl is not doing as good. I don't know if it just doesn't germinate as well, or if this spot is kind of a shady spot. I put them over here in the shadiest part of the garden. It's sunny here right now because it's afternoon, but in the mornings it's very shady. And I have put up a little fence on some posts because we have so much wildlife. We have rabbits, and I don't know if coyotes eat lettuce, but I'm not taking any chances. We have a lot of deer. I know we have skunks and stuff. We're just kind of out, and my house is completely surrounded by the woods. So I'm in a neighborhood, but it's very woody. So I just thought I'm not going to take any chances. I'm going to net this thing. And I really need to do the same with my kale because I don't want to be disappointed. And I think next time I did this, I wouldn't just cut the net down. I think I would I watch Gardener's World, and Monty Don has these little pots he puts over, and then he just drapes the net over. And I think I would like to try that and see how that does. And that way the whole thing's protected. Especially leaves are going to start falling. I have this big beautiful maple tree here, and I just keep expecting these beds to get full of leaves, so it might be nice to have a net on it so it's easier to clean them out. And then my wonderful spigot that I had installed. But this has been the best thing this year. I have absolutely loved growing veggies. I plan to just keep it going as long as I can. And I'm already planning for the spring. I've already ordered 2 more garden beds, and I'd like to put them here and maybe do a trellis between and run up some beans on them or some squash. But that means I'm gonna have to find a different pumpkin spot next year. So we'll just see where that's gonna go. But thanks for coming on a garden tour. Sorry about all the noise. It's very loud here today. I hope everybody's garden's going well. Stay safe, everyone.